Hey everybody, I'm Ellen here at etrailer.com, and today we'll be taking a look at the Pacer Performance High 5 LED Truck Cab Light Kit. Now this is going to be a match for the 2003 through 2004 Dodge factory roof lights. So if your truck didn't come with them, this is going to give you that sort of big rig look on the top of your Dodge, so you can have some extra visibility, make it a little easier for other drivers to see you, especially in fog or inclement weather. If it's really pouring down, it always helps to have extra light. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward kit. We'll get our 5 lights to go on the top, and they come with a rubber or a foam gasket. That's going to help to seal up around that light so we don't have to worry about any seeping water getting into our roof. That being said, you will have to drill some holes in the top of your Dodge truck. It'll take about 15 holes to get everything installed. That's 2 per light, since we'll have 2 anchor points, and then another hole so we can let our wiring drop down through. So I just want to let you know that right up front. You are going to have to do a little bit of drilling, but once it's done, it should look really nice and you shouldn't have any issues. Like I said, it does come with this gasket, so that's going to keep most water out that way. The screws that come with our kit, they all have a little O-ring, a little rubber O-ring to help protect that point as well. So when you drop that hardware through, there is some protection underneath the head of that screw, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Now, that being said, if it were me, I would still probably get some silicone sealant, just because you don't want to have any issues down the road. So it's never a bad idea just to be doubly sure and put a drop in those 2 attachment points, and then maybe in that third one as well where that wiring would drop down through. You can pick up silicone sealant here at etrailer.com if you don't already have some. And this kit comes with the LED lights to go into our light housing. It also comes with the incandescent bulbs. Really, this is just the exact same thing as the incandescent bulb kit, just with the addition of the LEDs. So if for some reason you wanted to switch it out to the incandescents, you can, or you can use those bulbs for something else. They're a number 194 bulb, so it's a pretty common wedge style incandescent bulb, used in a lot of different things, but really once you have the LEDs, there's not much point in using the incandescents, since they tend to burn out and then you got to replace them and get into all your stuff. So if you got them, why not use the LEDs just instead? So I'm going to show you the difference just in brightness, just for fun, since you do get both. To put our bulbs in place, it's pretty much the same thing. We'll take one of our little one of our little LED guys, and then just push it into place in this housing. Something I like about these is that the housings themselves, they have kind of a rubbery texture. Gotta really smush that guy in there. So I think that rubbery texture helps to protect around the opening in that light. This just takes a quarter turn. You need to line up the tabs. Might be a little hard for you to see. There's little tabs in the light housing and then around the socket as well. So we'll just match it up, turn it a quarter of a turn, and it should seal into place. So that seals pretty well around there. Again, if you want to be extra double sure, you can always put a little silicone sealant, although you want to be careful not to get too messy with it, because you can see that socket on the inside. So some things to consider there. So that's our incandescent, or excuse me, that's our LED. I'm going to do the same thing for this one, but with an incandescent bulb. And when you put these guys in there, if you find that it doesn't work, it's always a good idea to test it before you actually get it installed on your roof. If you find that it doesn't work, you might just need to flip it over to make sure that the contacts are in the right spot. Not too hard to do, but you just, again, want to make sure you have it tested out before you actually have it drilled in place, and then it's a whole big ordeal to get it off. So line that up, turn it into place. And our kit is going to come with a switch. So we can run that in our cab, so you have easy access to turn your lights on and off. But I have seen a lot of customers say that they actually wire this in with their running lights or their light circuit on their truck, so that whenever you turn on your running lights, it's ready to go right then, and you don't have to worry about remembering to switch this on every time. So that's an option. If you feel comfortable with making modifications to your vehicle's lights, nothing's stopping you there. It does come with a fuse, so you can make sure that everything's fuse protected. And then our wiring, red wire goes to power, black goes to ground. This is a length of just red wire with a little spade connector to go to the back of our switch. And same thing with the fuse, it also has a spade to go to the other side of our switch. So I'm going to connect this to my light so you can see incandescent first. Switch this guy on. So it's on, not terribly bright, but it's there. If we switch over to our LED, you'll see how much brighter that one's going to be. I like this kit. It's pretty easy to use. You pretty much get everything you need. The only thing that I would switch out would maybe be the quick splice connectors. They work just fine, but if you don't get them crimped down really tightly, they can open up and cause some issues down the road. So I would suggest using some insulated butt connectors. You could also upgrade to even heat shrinks, since those will give you a watertight connection. They just tend to last longer and be a little bit more secure connection. So here we have our LED lit up. It's actually not that much brighter than an incandescent bulb, but again, the thing that's going to be nice is that we'll never have to really change this out. This one, after a while, that filament's going to go bad. You're going to have to change it out, so you don't have to worry about that with the LEDs. So now that we've looked at what comes in the kit, let's go over some measurements. Our light housing from front to back is about 5.5 inches long. It kind of tapers towards the back end there, and at the widest point it's about 3 1/8 inches, just over 3 inches wide. The narrower point, just for reference, it's about 2 3/4. The height coming off of the roof is just about 1 3/4 inches with this gasket in place. Of course, this does have a little bit of squish, and once you get that fully tightened down, it'll probably be a little bit smaller than that, so maybe 1.5 inches instead. And you do want to make sure that you get that nice and tightened down, since once this gasket is depressed, that's going to do a better job of sealing up the bottom of this light. It does come with a 60-day limited warranty from Pacer. We'll have our clear lens over that amber LED. Same thing for the incandescent bulb. It's an amber light inside there. And that's about going to do it for our look at the Pacer Performance High 5 Truck Cab Light Kit. I hope this video is helpful in making your purchasing decision.